big part of why people get stuck on narcissists is you wonder, how could I be such a bad person? What did I do to deserve that kind of treatment? And a lot of our healing begins when we start to realize that even though it always takes two people in any relationship and nobody is deserving of being treated badly, especially as badly as a narcissist treats people. But you have to understand that when people treat you a certain way, there's a theory in psychology where it's called object relations. We treat people according to how they act to us and how we feel about ourselves. And that's what the narcissist is doing. It's not that you're a bad person necessarily, right? We all have good and bad in us. The narcissist mostly bad, but the narcissist is treating you from that lens of a narcissistic personality disorder. When they see you, they either idealize you or they devalue you. They're just like anyone else, right? When you meet someone, most of us are more cordial, and we don't just are super mean to just people that we deem that aren't worthy of our time, right? We might like cut the conversation short, but we aren't rude because we don't have a personality disorder. If you notice about the narcissist, they'll do that. When it's like the waiter or someone that they see beneath them, they'll treat them like absolute garbage because that person, or at least the narcissist, deems that that person can do nothing for them. But as we all know, it doesn't matter if you're the garbage man, a lawyer, whoever. People can always give you something, right? So it's not just all about money or looks or all that superficial stuff. People have knowledge, people have charisma, people have, life experience. It isn't all about just your needs. Everyone has something to show you for the most part. But the narcissist is very blind to this. Even if they idealize you in the beginning, because of their personality disorder, they're going to eventually throw you away, the discard it's called, because they have a disordered mind, and once their idealized image of you sways in any little way, and honestly, sometimes I've spoken to people with this personality disorder, sometimes it's not about you 100%. Sometimes the narcissist their mind is so disordered that you could have done absolutely nothing to trigger their insecurities. There are many insecurities. There are abandonment anxiety. There are all sorts of things. But maybe the narcissist, all of a sudden, something shifts in their brain. They have a lot of instability in their moods, and if for some reason they get in a mood and you just happen to be around, you're going to be on the receiving end of that a rage fit. Narcissists are known to have rage fits, and it could be that it's just something going, maybe like a memory triggers in their mind about something in the past, someone who did them wrong or something that they're remembering, and now they feel shame, and you're around and they project that onto you. Narcissists regulate themselves through other people, and if you just happen to be around, and if just get in one of their moods because they remembered something that has nothing to do with you, you're going to get discarded, you're going to get yelled at, and you're going to think, well, I didn't do anything. We tend to self-blame, especially people who really love narcissists, people who are drawn to narcissists. We tend to ourselves be very caring people, codependent people, honestly. And because of that, we will shift blame onto us. We aren't like the narcissist. The narcissist projects outward and wants to regulate themselves through other people, and they just push all their BS onto other people. As more empathetic people, as we are more empathetic, as we are more on maybe the introverted side, as people who get attached to narcissists are typically like this, will reflect inward instead of outward like the narcissist, and will think, what did I do wrong? I must be a bad person, etc., etc. And that's how we get stuck in that loop. The narcissist is a pusher and we're a puller, and it's an endless dynamic. The narcissist has no end. And because they have that disordered mind, you're not going to be able to ever think your way out of it. You're not going to be able to reason your way with them. You're not going to be able to reason with them. They have truly lost a big connection to reality, and once you understand that, it becomes easier to let go of all of these wrongdoings, and you understand that yes, what they did to you was very wrong and abusive, but it's not because you're a bad person. It's because the way they see reality is distorted and dysfunctional. The narcissist has created that idealized image of themselves, and because of early trauma, because of genetics and a whole host of reasons, the narcissist is always going to try to prop up this false image that they have of themselves. And whenever any memory pops up in their head and they get in a mood and something is going against their false image, even if it's something you did, but the thing about something that you did is you could have done something totally harmless with no ill intent. You could have just picked up the wrong flavor of ice cream, and the narcissist spins off into this rage because that has just thrown off their perfect image, right? Because in there, it's really hard to understand the mind of a disordered person from their perspective, because we can never be in their shoes. But because of psychoanalysis, because of other narcissists, people with narcissistic personality disorder that have told their story, we can kind of get an inclination of how they think. And what's really going on there is this is not your fault. It's that this person has that grandiose self-image, and when you show up with the wrong ice cream or whatever inconsequential thing you did, that person now thinks, well, I'm bad because they brought the wrong ice cream. That means that I picked the wrong person, and it just escalates into this completely insane story inside of their head. But to a normal sane person, to people who are just empaths, to people who are just loving and caring, regular folks like you, it doesn't make sense, because you've never thought that way. You've never thought that you're going to stop loving your partner because they brought the wrong groceries home, right? But because the narcissist's moods and their mental states are so volatile, any little thing triggers them. That's also why they're very impulsive, and they like to drink a lot. Every narcissist I've met loves to drink. And they also like to spend money like impulsively, because they feel the good things. It's a common myth that narcissists can't really feel pleasure, or like they don't really feel positive emotions. Not as much. It's because their base rate, say this is base rate. Most narcissists are lower down, and they have to do all these things, whether it's a negative or positive thing, to feel something, right? They're almost like emotionally numb at times. That's why they have to yell at you and have these toxic, abusive relationships. They're drawn to them because they need that level of drama to feel anything. But that's also why they like doing these high dopamine, high like adrenaline things, like driving really fast or drinking 30 beers in a day, because that is what they need to just feel anything. Their highs can be real high, but their lows can also be real low. And any little thing has a very, very profound effect on them. They feel shame, bad emotions, and all that very badly, but very different from you. Let's say your partner brings the wrong groceries home. You'll probably be annoyed. You'll probably be like, man, why, you're so silly. You're so dumb. Why didn't you just get the right thing? But you don't take it as hard, and you let it go very easy, right? You move on with your day. That's what a normal, emotionally healthy person does. But the narcissist sees it as a personal attack. They take it very hard, and that's why they blow up on you for bringing the wrong thing home, when in reality it's nothing, right? But that's also why you're so drawn and attracted to them, because when they do like you, when they love bomb you at the beginning, it's so intense, but because it's, in a sense, it's not real, right? Just how it's not real that the way they take things so personally that aren't that big of a deal, they're also going to do positive things in this very grandiose, extreme way. But it's happened, right? It was based in reality in the sense that it happened. They love bombed you, but it's from a disordered mind, and that level of intensity is not normal, right? And it's something I've learned from just recently dating after recovering from being with a narcissist, is that when you meet someone, you aren't supposed to just fall head over heels in love with them and be really attached to them and just think they're your soulmate. That is an irrational judgment. That is not a good place to start a relationship from. It doesn't mean you have to be guarded and closed off like many people get after dating a narcissist. It just means that you should start at a base level like a normal person, and then let it rise gradually, not just start off from a base level or even lower like a narcissist and just shoot up immediately to the top. And that's why when you start off from such a high place, such an irrational, extreme place, of course the only place to go is down. And that's why they always end up in that same cycle of destroyed relationships. The analogy of the wrong groceries is perfect, because we have the ability not to internalize the image of something, whether it's bringing the wrong groceries home, whether it's our partner. We can differentiate reality better than the narcissist. We don't see things as all good and all bad in these extreme black and white thinkings like the narcissist. we can see that this is just a person. We shouldn't idealize them, but we also shouldn't devalue them. They're just a person, and by getting to know them gradually, I'm gonna see if they are worthy of my love, if it's worthy of my time, or if they aren't a good person. Then yeah, I'm gonna devalue them and discard them in a normal way, right? That's just human nature. But the narcissist isn't like that, and that's why you shouldn't take it so personally when they hurt you. It was never about you. The narcissist is in really just hates themselves in a lot of ways, and that's why they create that false image of themselves, and that's why you shouldn't take it so personally. They are fighting a very intense battle with themselves, and anyone that crosses their path is just a casualty of war in a sense.